If you bored, then stop complaining. Tap into Slightlee Daily. Pods and blogs and playlists. Everyday entertainment. Slightly to the daily. Slight to the lead to the. If you bored, then stop complaining. Tap into Slightlee Daily. Pods and blogs and playlists. Everyday entertainment. Slightly to the daily. Slight to the lead to the daily.
Welcome back to the Slightlee Daily Podcast, episode number 88. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's there. It's there. It's just everywhere. It's there.
Yeah.
Like Amazon, Google Podcasts, all that.
You're global.
Yeah, global with it. This is a beautiful thing. It's a new year. I love having people that I've had on before. I love my friends, my reoccurring guests.
Yeah.
But the whole point of this, man, is just reach across.
Yeah.
Connect the dots, man.
New guest.
I have a new guest, bro. Please
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
Right. What's up? I'm Savvy. Yeah. I'm the new kid. I'm the new kid on the block. You can follow me on Instagram at og.savvy. Follow me on Twitter, Champagne Savvy. Hit the Cash App, Champagne Savvy.
You know what? You might as well Venmo.
Yeah,
you
you
know
know what I'm saying? All that. But yeah, no.
Okay.
We're here.
Let's just start surface level.
Mhm.
So, for the viewers out there, we've been following each other for a couple months, but this
Yeah.
is the first time we met in person.
Yeah.
So
We were supposed to do this a minute ago.
we
actually.
were, man. I'm glad we got it in though. See, like that's
Yeah.
the thing, man. We'll get into just all that shit.
Yeah.
But let's start surface level.
Uh-huh.
Savvy.
Yeah. What's
Dollar
up?
sign savvy.
Dollar sign.
Where
hey, yeah.
Tell me. Let's start out with that, man.
All right. So Savvy. I'm guessing you're wanting to know where it comes from.
Yeah, sure. Like,
Okay.
tell me, like, where
Cool.
that. Why do you call yourself that?
Savvy just comes from honestly, before it was just a dumb Instagram name.
Okay.
There was like this movement that me and my friends were on called Hip Savvy when we were in high school, something stupid. Supposed to be like hipster and savage.
Okay.
So when I finally was getting on Instagram around when I was like 15, 16, I was just like looking for a cool Instagram a cool Instagram handle.
Yeah.
But I remember going by like OG, like Hamilton, OG, Carlton, OG, like just weird Instagram names. But the thing about my Instagram was at the time when I had it, I wasn't supposed to have it. I wasn't supposed to have no social media.
Like your parents?
Yeah, that's just what my parents were
Yeah.
on. But my Instagram was popping though, because I would do like these cool edits with all my pictures.
Okay.
And it just kind of like goes to show like today with my Instagram page, what it kind of looks like when you see it. It's kind
Yeah.
of like different.
It is.
Because I would see like there was
It's
that
a
era.
mood board.
Yeah, there was that era where like everybody was just like putting the white border around their pictures.
Yeah.
There's the era where people were like doing the pictures that are split in between the squares and stuff.
Where it makes
It's-
like one
yeah,
big
one
picture.
big- yeah. So
fucking ASAP Rocky did that.
exactly. And so actually he was a very big inspiration when I was like looking at this is before any music, any of the cool stuff I'm doing.
It was
now.
just straight
Just
your brand.
Instagram.
Yeah.
But not even like a brand tip.
Yeah.
For me it was more so just like I
Well,
have
like
this
your
platform.
personal brand,
yeah,
though.
Exactly.
Like not like you're selling something or like you're
Exactly.
creating. It's just
Yeah.
like, nah, this is just
this is just this
me.
yeah.
Your
so-
brain, just the look inside of your imagination, I guess.
Exactly. So at that point, it was just like making cool Instagram edits. What's the craziest shit I can make?
So that's how. Like video editing and stuff. That
Yeah.
was like that's been.
I would do
something-
like trillers, but like I would make
Okay.
them like I would edit them differently,
Make 'em
so it
really
looked like
trippy.
an actual music video.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And put them
Yeah.
out like everything had a theme, everything had a purpose, and that was the earliest form of creativity. So when
How
I
old are you
finally-
now?
So I just turned 21 in
21.
December.
Okay. Young bull.
Yeah. Yeah. super young.
Yeah, you are, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So at that point, it was just all about just being this creative on Instagram. Nothing major. Not taking myself serious at all. Nothing at all. But it was finally when I got the chance, when somebody finally got to ask me like, "What's your name?" And like now I want to step into this artistry. It's like, oh, Savvy. That's the only thing that makes sense. So it was like, and before it was just an Instagram handle, OG Savvy.
Yeah.
But then people in high school used to call me Sav. Like people who knew my name used to call me Sav, used to call me Savvy, like shortened. And like I was being known by my Instagram name. So it was like, wow, if I can go to a whole new place, which is Tennessee, of course, then like I can be anybody. I can be Carlos. Like I can be anybody. It's just like whenever you step into a new place, you have a chance to reinvent yourself every time.
I've never I'm from Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
I was born here, raised here. I've lived here my whole life. I'm 24 now. Went to school here, all that type of stuff.
Right.
So I can't relate to moving to, like, I know what it's like to go to a different school.
Yeah.
But not like a completely different
place.
area.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's like a whole nother world.
Yeah, no, it's for sure. It's cool. It's like it's exciting almost. Like the only challenge that I would see is just like making those friendships, making those connections. But if you have a reason to be in a space and you have the funds to do it, I would tell people to go and just try different places. Get out of your hometown.
Where are you from, though?
So I'm originally from Riverside, California.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time of my childhood in Huntsville, Alabama. And then from Alabama came here.
Okay.
You know?
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's from here. Like, you know, we went to high school and we're friends and stuff. And he moved out to California.
Yeah.
He lives in North California.
Okay.
So, like, near Sacramento.
Yeah.
That area. It's like, California's so big.
Yeah.
I've never been,
like a couple
but
states.
like, it's like, yeah. So, yeah, man, California. Let's just start there. So, born there?
Born in Cali.
Okay. What was that like, man? I mean,
Bro,
like, how much memory, like, we're talking, like, you had some years. It wasn't just like you were born there as a baby and you moved.
Yeah, no, it was cool. That's all I can really say about it.
I got
a
you.
lot,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of times people will come up to me and be like, "Oh my gosh, California! Like California's like the pinnacle. Like you know what I'm saying?" But like when you're from there, or just like when you visited, when you go back so many times, it's really hard for people to get out of California. It's really hard for people to move because it's like its own world. A lot of people out in Cali don't even know about the rest of the United States, let alone the world.
Damn.
Like that's why it's so crazy. Like for whenever like people would be like, "Oh, like you moved from Cali to Huntsville,
to Alabama."
you know what I'm saying? Like, what is wrong with you? Why did you leave California? But it's like, you know, whenever you're from a place, of course, it doesn't seem that great or it doesn't seem that crazy.
Yeah.
But like for me, it's just always been a want to like see the rest of the world, go explore, go see whatever. So I'm always open to like moving different places and like seeing different things because that's just how I am, you know, as a person. So it's like going back to California is beautiful, but would I move back there? Probably not, because I like where I'm at now, you know, staying.
How did you get to Murfreesboro or Tennessee? MTSU?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I was going to school at MT. I came my freshman spring semester, so January 2019.
Okay.
And that's where everything starts, like from that point. That's where like the savvy that I'm sorry, I have bad allergies, but
You wear contacts?
yeah, no. I just have bad allergies.
Dude,
like
I feel
yeah,
I got contacts, bro, and I had to like switch the brands because like, dude, trust me, I have bad allergies too, and the contacts were making it 1,000 times
bro.
worse.
All it takes is like one itch from my eyes to like start going crazy. So
Are you allergic to dogs?
No.
Oh, I was
I'm
like,
good,
oh
I'm
shit.
good. No, you're good. You're
My
good.
girlfriend's allergic to cats, bro,
Really?
and like she'll, you know, the dog is fine. I don't know what it is. Cat
Yeah.
hair is like something different. They have like a different chemical.
No,
whatever.
That's 100%.
You know?
I totally feel that because we saved it. So, me and my friend were coming back to their apartment, and there was a cat outside, and we saved the cat and gave it to one of her friends. And like by the end of the night, my eyes were like, I looked like I had just gotten in a fight.
Oh.
Like it was hell. So
Yeah.
I totally understand that. But
I have food allergies too. So
Really?
and it makes dude, I have a lot. Like I have a really weird diet. I'm not like vegan or anything,
Yeah.
but like I'm lactose intolerant. I'm allergic to eggs, and I got like a nut allergy.
Damn.
So like
that's like all the best stuff.
I know, man. So like desserts,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Back to Murfreesboro.
Yeah. I graduated from MT.
Okay.
2018.
Word.
Went to school for journalism. You know, that's kind of really, you know, there's like this stigma with college. It's like college isn't worth it.
Yeah.
In certain portions, yes,
For sure,
it is a
100%.
scam. But also, dude, I got a lot of very valuable skills, and I learned a lot of really dope shit once I got in my major. Once you get past all like the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Because like I wouldn't know how to run my website. I learned everything, you know, how to like lighting and cameras. I learned
how to have a production.
A little bit of everything, because like being in journalism, I went to school for like print media. I wanted to be a sports journalist, but also, when you're in your major, you might take an advertising class or like something in marketing, and then like, oh well, I gotta take this videography class, like, so it
branches out to like a lot of other I've never been the guy to be like completely like, oh yeah, college is bullshit. Like I've never been that guy, because for some, I mean, you can't learn nursing by yourself.
Exactly.
So like there's some things that are essential for you to go to school for. But however, I am on the tip of like, if you know what you're doing and you have a plan and you're already on path to complete that plan, and college is becoming a hindrance to that plan, drop the school. That's where I'm at. My
friend, he just graduated from the music production program at MT. It took him a few years, but he had like a break and shit. But he did that shit, and he was already a dope producer. He does like EDM and like just lo-fi rap. We've made music together, all that type of shit. And like, because I asked him, I was like, Devin, was it worth it, basically? And he was like, honestly, yes, dude. I learned about like, all the technical sides of music and a little bit of the business too, but like, this is how you're supposed to mix shit, like frequencies and like, EQs, and like, I learned how to use Ableton, and because like, he's just a strictly FL guy, you feel me? So like, I learned, multiple DAWs, and I learned skills and part of the business. So like, there's definitely some gems.
It's however you learn it. For me, like however you learn it, like as long as you're learning it, like that's. So if school is the route for you to learn it, go to school for them 4 years, 100%. But
are you still enrolled? No.
Currently, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So I just got to a point where I was realizing like all the things that like I was realizing that I wanted to do so many things that a lot of the things school just didn't align up with. Or if I did go through school to get those things done, it would be like years and years,
time
and years,
consuming, man. It's a time,
and it's like for me, a lot of people end up, and especially in the industry that I'm in and like what I do, we'll just talk about like being an artist. Number one, a lot of people get their big break around the age of like 25, 26, 27 is when things start to change for them.
Truly, yes.
Yeah.
And Jay-Z didn't release Reasonable Doubt until he was 30, 28. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So things take forever for people to pick up. So I'm just trying to cut that in half. So by the time I'm 25 or 26, I can enjoy, what I'm saying? I can enjoy life for the rest of my life.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than having to. So I'll work as hard as I'll struggle and work as hard as I need to work now. So that way when I'm 25, 26, 27, I'm good, My family's good, everybody's good. And that's just the mindset that I've had. So it's like if I'm going through school, like trying to become an artist or trying to become a fashion designer or trying to become a model or any of those things, I could be here for years. You know what I'm saying? I can be here. I could finish school with all those degrees when I'm like 30, 32, but then I look back at my life and I spent my 20s as a student just doing school, which I know for myself, speaking for me, it just doesn't. I live a way happier life and a way more beautiful life just doing what I want, when I want, how I want, and still achieving those goals.
Yeah, because it's not like you're not working.
Exactly. And that's where the fine line for me, because a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'm not going to go to school, but at the same time they don't work or they're not doing anything to help what they were going to go to school in the first place. And that's where I'm like, that's stupid to drop out. But for people who are working or people who want to start a business or people who just want to take that chance, I have a friend who's been modeling on the side but is a student mainly. And he came to me one day and was like, yo, like I really want to do this modeling thing. And I'm thinking about leaving school, but I just don't know because I need structure. I need like a backbone, and it's scary.
A plan B.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
it's scary
I feel that.
It's scary to just follow your dreams. It's not as easy. It sounds so beautiful, but like it's scary, especially when you're like 19, 20 years old. Like it's scary to just say, I'm just going to follow my dreams of being a model or whatever,
Yeah.
And it's like he dropped out of school and decided he was going to do it full-fledged. And I like commended him because I'm like, bro, if you believe in that dream and you know that every single day that you wake up, you're doing something to achieve that, it'll work out. It'll work out.
Building on it. It'll
work out, no doubt. And that's what I say to anybody. Like, anybody out there working on some shit and it might not be going the way that you think it's supposed to be picking up or whatever. Like, you continue to stay consistent and it'll happen. I promise. Because so much, like, my life from, like, senior year of high school to now is so different. It's so different.
You went to high school in Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oakwood Academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that like a private school or
something?
It
is. It is.
Nice.
Yeah. Shout out OAA.
I see in Murfreesboro, I went to Central Magnet, which is like, it's not a private school, but it's a magnet. It's a private school without a tuition, basically.
Yeah.
So my grandmother was a teacher for 30 years. My mom is a teacher now. So education, I mean, I'm not like, I'm a decent student. Yeah. I'm a decently smart guy. So education for me was something I always had to take serious.
Yeah.
So that always kind of came first. I played sports and stuff growing up too. Okay. And that, that kind of being serious about education and being serious about like athletics kind of builded the mindset that I have now when it comes to me doing like this creative stuff. Cause I do a lot of shit. Like I do everything you see on my like account, bro, is me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and it looks good, by the way. I don't know if anybody's ever told you you're doing a good job.
Thank you, bro. Sure. Dude. So let's talk about Savvy, the recording artist.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into this.
Let's do it.
Not too long ago, correct?
Yeah. A year.
A year
okay. At best. A year and some change.
So I did go through, I've listened to your music and stuff.
For sure.
Zoom was what got me hooked on you. I was like, damn, this is dope. I think you reached out to me first, actually. What was that after? Like Young Soul and Cam Curry?
Yeah, those are, okay. I don't know Cam.
Soul?
I've heard of him, but Soul is the big homie. Like, that's
dope.
That's one of the OGs right there.
So, yeah, dude, that podcast is the most viewed one I have. It has like 700 views on YouTube. Yeah. That shit blew up. But I think you reached out to me after then. And I was like, okay, dope. And like, cause that one was like a really big break for me. And I've kept up with it because I was on campus at MT at the same time
while he was there. Yeah.
So like, I was like, man, I'm tapped in. Like they're dope. And I was doing music back then too. And like, but yeah. So
coming to MT around that time. Well, I got to MT like around, like I said, 2019, the new year. Some of those artists were like still around, but like they were like seniors.
Yeah.
So they were like
phasing
going out,
Yeah.
So I came at the perfect time because I was able to come in and meet so many people and just be a part of some of the things that like students now will have no idea about, or like meet people that students now have no idea about, like, and just like be a part of Urban, to be a part of like what Francis was doing, like $3, like what Soul was doing, Evan Dupree, and
Tay Keith was just like, walking around.
You know what I'm saying? Like just seeing that, like that's something now that like other students now can never say, and it's wild because
there's a lot of talent on that campus.
Yeah, I just came at like a perfect time and was able to really sit down, shut up, and like listen and like watch and learn. And I attribute a lot of those people that I met my freshman year to who I am today, 100%.
Okay, so tell me. Get me down to the smallest detail. When was like your first kind of recording sessions? Yeah. Whose bedroom was it? Whose closet was it? You feel me? Where was the garage?
So the first song, I'll say the first song, like I had been recording and stuff in high school, but this was just like, there was no passion behind it. I didn't want to be a recording artist. I was just rapping and doing stuff because I was really good at making beats. And I could also rap. Like it was no passion behind it at all. But the first thing that I took serious, I don't know, when I got to MT, I didn't do a lot. My freshman year, I didn't do a lot of like recording and stuff like that. That's when I really like sat down and just first I was trying to like find my friends. Who's my friend? Who are the people that like I link up with every day on campus. Yeah. And I thought it was this group of people who it ended up not being, just because I started to look at myself and I'm like, okay, did I come all the way to school just to like bullshit every day, or did I come to school to like actually be on something, like be doing something.
Yeah.
And then that's when I met $3, who is a music group, a rap group, very talented. And they had been like the big people on campus for a minute during that time period. So it was like really weird. I was really trying to get my hands on, I was just wanting to be involved at that point. So I was involved in Urban. I was involved in BSU. I was going to like every little thing that they were having on campus around that time. And I mean, of course, now it looks so much different than it was. But like, like on campus, they were having things like random Thursday nights. They would have
festivals in the middle of the day.
Like just random shit, like all the time, like how college is, Yeah. So it was, but I linked up with $3 and they really taught me the in and outs of a lot of things and kind of took me in as like a little brother. And so that really just, I used to sit in when they would work on stuff. And me not so much like, try to get my hands on this or do that, but, just learning how to listen, learning how to learn, like learning how to not have to be the guy, and just be able to, be in the background and just learn. And I met a lot of cool people, made a lot of cool connections. So I'll say that my first time actually recording something for myself, so I'll say my first show was April 14th, I want to say, 2019 at the Laundry Room.
Where's that at?
The Laundry Room's here in Murfreesboro.
It is?
Yeah.
Is it a house?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
It's
okay.
like a house.
I've never heard of it.
It's like a huge house, but like where the shows are, it's like actually in the Laundry Room.
Damn, that's hard.
Yeah. But I don't know if you know who Mills Turner is. So Mills Turner now, I believe he either does stuff for Justin Bieber or is like in association with Justin. But we came around the same time. I remember we met each other around the same time. We linked up in the library. And I remember one time I was walking out of my dorm when I was staying on campus. And he rolled down the window and was like, "What's up, Savvy?" And it's so wild because I'll hit him now. Like, I have a video of him like singing the "If Your Dad Says He Likes My Fit," but like whatever. But Mills, we were on the same show that night. It was Mills Turner, it was myself, and a couple other people. But Veggie Beats was there that night too. And that night was the first performance I ever had. So I had a live band. I performed some songs I had wrote, but nothing was released. I had nothing on SoundCloud.
Oh, okay. So what you performed was just some stuff.
It was like an open mic.
I got you.
Thing,
okay.
So, but it was the first show, so it was wild. Like, I performed and people really liked it, and then I got asked to do another show
at the same place.
No, it was the talent show, and I did that show at MT. So those were like my first two, those were like the first two early viewings that that's
Savvy the recording.
Savvy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't until later that summer, summer 2019, going into like May, that I had finally like decided to like record and stuff like that. So, and then that's going into the Lil Homies era. So the Lil Homies was the collective and the group that I came up in. So
okay, I got you.
During the time where I was at MT for my freshman year, I was technically still living in Huntsville, but for school I was out here. I didn't really move to Nashville until that summer, where I decided to, instead of like staying in Huntsville, I decided to just move to Nashville, and that was my leap of faith. And then that's where everything got to where we are today. That summer was like the best time of my life. Like
2019
summer was the best year of my life. Like, it was the craziest, 19-year-old kid just like moving, you know what I'm saying? But also like doing all the shit that he wanted. Like, so with the Lil Homies, how that whole thing came about was during the school year of 2019, my freshman year, on the weekends, MTSU was like a backpack school, or so like my friends told me. Everybody lived around the area, either in Nashville, Franklin, or Knoxville,
Smyrna,
whatever.
Laverne,
So people would go back home on the weekends instead of staying on campus.
Yeah, it's a commuting school.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I'm from here, but I lived at home. I commuted and shit.
Exactly. So during the weekends, like, everybody would be gone on the weekends. So I had friends in Nashville that I had one friend. His name was
actually
Dylan.
Nashville?
Yeah,
Nashville,
like the actual city.
Yeah.
I had a friend named Dylan, and he introduced me to David. And then we would just hang out and stuff like on the weekends. And I would be coming into Nashville. So we would be going to live shows, or we would be going to events, or we would be going to just different stuff, or just be making music at the crib, like whatever. And then we had always had this thought of like making a group or putting together a group, or they would be talking about the Lil Homies.
Yeah.
But to me, it was never anything serious, because I was just like, okay, like, well, like I don't even know if I seriously want to be an artist. Like, why would I be, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't until after the school year was over, and they said something like, "Are you ready for the Lil Homies?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "No, like we're gonna move you to Nashville so you can be a part of this." And I was like, "Yeah, all right." Like at that time, I wasn't a big guy on just like doing shit with no plans, or like not like you're asking me to move,
and then you don't know what you're getting in.
I don't know where I'm gonna stay. I don't know where I'm gonna live. I don't know how I'm gonna make money, where I'm gonna work. Like I don't know any of that. But like, you know, you're asking me to move, and at the time I had a girlfriend. So it was a lot. That decision was like a lot, but
you ended up doing it.
Talking to her on the phone and talking to my parents and everything, it felt like I would never have another opportunity like that. So I took the chance and I moved. I got a job immediately, working a great job, a summer camp. I was staying with David, and we did, and from that point forward, like I was all in, because if these guys are gonna move me like from my comfortability to like a new place, then like I'm gonna be 100% about everything that I'm doing
every day, waking
every
up,
single day, like whatever it is. So from like May, and that's where everything starts. So the first song that I recorded, I can say, was like 6 a.m. which was on my SoundCloud.
I heard
shot
that
a video for that.
Yeah. You did. Yeah, I went through YouTube too, and I was like, okay, let's see what, you know. I already did my research, but I was like, today, so I can get it like fresh on the brain, you know. Yeah, 6 a.m. I was gonna go chronologically. So that was like first song to completion.
First song to
pretty
completion.
much.
First song that I look back and was like, wow, like
that was the
done,
first one.
But I didn't release it. I didn't release it anywhere. I shot a video for it over that whole summer. That summertime, I shot a video for it. And yeah, the video was cool. It came out exactly like how I wanted it. Lyrical Lemonade picked it up, wrote about it.
I saw that,
and that's
amazing.
But before we even get there, that's the first song I recorded. The first song that I released was 990.
Okay.
And so 990 comes from the Lil Homies like whole era. Yeah.
Okay.
So how 990 happened was at the time I had catalog, but like I had a catalog of all my old high school stuff, and I was like, man, is this what I want Savvy to sound like? Is this what I want Savvy to be? Do I want to have these songs
like a first impression? Like you want to make a good first impression. Like,
so if I'm gonna give somebody something, a new person that I just met in a new city, in a new place, doing something new, why would I play them something old? So I was trying to come up with new catalog. And at the time, we got asked to perform at Coogee Fest, which was a festival in Nashville.
Coogee, like the clothes?
No. Like there was this artist named King Coogee.
Okay.
Who was throwing shows around Nashville, and he had this event called Coogee Fest.
Oh, nice!
It was like a high energy event.
Yeah.
Like crazy artists, like just. I knew we had to come like
pretty much
crazy.
Like all hip hop driven.
Yeah. Well, it was like hip hop. Also, like just like there was an R&B act, and then there was also like some. There was also like some. I think it was like some rock artists there as well. I don't remember exactly. But
okay, I got you.
I knew that for the Lil Homies, this was going to be like one of our first performance. Wow, I'm skipping. This was going to be one of our first performances, so. I wanted to make something that would match the energy or like blow the energy off the roof from what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
And so around that time, I was asking David, who is the founder of the Lil Homies.
How many people are in the?
So the Lil Homies was.
I don't want to get you sidetracked, but I do want to just cover that.
Let's see, David, who was the founder, producer, artist. Sky Broadus was an artist. Myself. Dylan, who's the creative director, or Dylan ATM, was Two Canes, who's an artist, William Jenkins, who was a photographer, Dirge was a fashion designer, Jackson was a model, also just helped us out with a lot of the stuff in the group. Jaden was a photographer. Jackson also helped out with a lot of. There's another Jackson helped out with a lot of things. Veggie was our DJ. It was about like 12 of us.
Okay, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope that you can get 12 minds on the same
on the
page.
Same thing. And that's what was so beautiful about the Little Homies is that going back to 990.
Follow the story. So I just wanted to.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So we record 990. Just off, David was playing beats. We were at McKay's downtown. This is around my tourist era. Like, they were showing me everything in Nashville. I didn't know. But yeah, they were showing me everything. We went to McKay's, and I remember I had just bought this pair of New Balance, the 990s. And I was walking out the store, and this man looked at me and was like, "Hey, man, I really like your shoes." And I was like, "Wow, man." I looked down at his feet. I had the same ones on. I was like, "Wow, I like your shoes
white
too."
Guy?
It was an old white guy. And so I was like, "Wow, that's yes." So then I walked out, and they were getting some tacos from this taco truck that was right outside McKay's. And I have the voice memo right now on my phone. But I was just like humming in my head. I was like, "If your dad say he liked the fit, that's a compliment." Like, I just kept saying it over and over again. And I was like, man, like when we get in the car, I was like, "Hey, David, I think I got something." We get in the car, play me some beats on the way back home on the aux. And he played this one beat, and I just start like going like, "If your dad say he liked my fit." So later that night, we recorded the song, finished everything, and we ended up releasing it. And I remember on the day that we released it, the next day I had to work. So I would usually go to work from like 10 to like, I want to say like 10 to 2.
Yeah.
I was working at this golf course on Shelby Park out in Nashville.
I deliver for Amazon in Nashville. Yeah. I've been around there. That golf, that's like it's bougie as fuck over there.
It's crazy. Yeah. It was a crazy job too. It was beautiful. I would love to work there again. But anyway, so I ended up, I was working there at that point in time, and I come home, and nobody was back at home at David's crib. Like, everybody was still at work or doing whatever. But I was asleep. I went to sleep. I usually would come home, like, order some Postmates and then go to sleep. Yeah. Until he got back and we did whatever for the night. And yeah, I got back to the crib, went to sleep, and then I woke up. And my phone was blowing up. And I was like, "Damn, what the hell is going on?" I checked my phone, and Lyrical Lemonade did a write-up about 990. And it was like...
The next day type shit?
Yeah. And it was crazy. I was like, what just actually happened? Like, what? My mind was blown because nothing like that had ever happened to me like before. Like, now, of course, like, I'll get write-ups and stuff, and I'm still like very thankful for any journalist that takes the time to write up on my work. Like, I'm 100% thankful. But
yeah, absolutely.
I've gotten so many now that, of course, I didn't have that same energy as the first time. And the first one was like on Lyrical Lemonade. It was like,
amazing, bro.
This is insane, you know? So at that point, I think that's when the eyes really started to land on me and land on the Little Homies. Was because it was the first song that was released.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, how rare is that? So from that point forward, I was very cautious about where we were going or whatever. So we threw our first show, which was the Blackout show, and it was at Cafe Coco, small ass Cafe Coco. But we packed it out. I think the capacity for Cafe Coco was probably like maybe 50 people in that room. It was at least like 90 people or up to like 80 or 85 or 90 people there.
Jesus.
And it was tight. Like,
dude, I don't think people realize that like 50, 60, 70 people is a lot of people.
It is. It is.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's why whenever I hear artists talk about like doing a show in front of like 15,000, I'm like, What does that even mean?
What do you mean One Direction sold out stadiums?
Yeah, like, what does that mean? That's wild. So I'm just like, at that point, what really solidified everything for me and was like, yeah, I have a passion to do this now. And this is what let me know, like, everything that I've been wanting and I've been dreaming about in high school that I would just tell my friends about, and we would kind of just laugh and shrug it off. When I say it's possible, like, it became possible. Like, it's possible. And it wasn't until I got on stage to perform 990 and I say, "If your dad says he likes my fit," and I point the mic out and people are responding.
Oh my God.
I'm like that moment right there will always be etched in my brain, because that was the first time that I realized that I can do this shit. Like, I can do it. Like,
fuck yeah.
If I really put my mind into it, and I know that, like, I'm being consistent, I'm being real with myself, There's nothing that I can't do. And from that point forward, it was just, it all came easy after that. I started modeling. I did shoots with Rooted. I did started doing shoots for like Music City Vintage, just doing a lot of other stuff like modeling wise or whatever, shooting with different photographers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like after that's what lit the fire. And so with the little homies, we continued to make music, continue to do shows here and there, continue to ask to be on different shows, throwing our own shows, working on this documentary, working on a premiere. Like we threw our own events all the way up until October. All the way up until August, and then going into the fall, we had planned to do this tour called the Fall Fury Tour. So we made an album, and then we released the album, and we toured off the album. And the tour was just, it was mainly just here in Nashville and in Murfreesboro and in between cities and stuff like that. But the shows were great. The shows were tight. The shows were super cool. But everything kind of burned out because over time, people, like during the school year, a lot of them, like I was the youngest one or one of the youngest. But a lot of them were already like in school or finishing up school or trying to finish school, you know, so that became
their focus shifted a little bit.
Yeah. And there was nothing wrong with that. But during that time, it was just like, to me, I was just like, man, I'm ready to just go. Not really understanding that people had, like, they had responsibilities. They were way older than me, or not even way older than me. They were just older than me.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, I have time to sit in the studio all day and record this and record that or work on this or work on that. But, you know, for somebody who has their own apartment or somebody who has bills that they have, like, I have to do, you know, I have to take care of my priorities. So during that point in time, that's kind of where I started to become, everything kind of shifted going into the new year, 2020.
And then COVID kind of.
Exactly. But going into the year like 2020, that's when I really decided to like kind of do my own thing and brand savvy as I would
as
do
a solo artist.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I won't even say that Little Homies broke up. It kind of just became like we put everything kind of on hold, and then right when we were about to pick up everything again, COVID happened.
Yeah.
So then that kind of like sealed the deal on a lot of the stuff. But I mean, we're all still very close friends. I still see
no
a
hard
lot of
feelings.
None at all. No, that's family right there. That'll always be family. And anytime anybody talks about Savvy, they need to talk about the Little Homies, because without the Little Homies, there would be no me. There would be no Savvy,
dope, bro.
You know. So a lot of the members I still see today. Whenever they do something, I'm always there supporting.
Yeah.
A lot of them have gone on to go ahead and graduate and do crazy stuff. Actually, David is featured on my album. He's not like featured on there, but like he's on there. Background vocals, and his project's coming out really soon. I'm super excited for it. And he's just a crazy artist as a whole, like just insane. I have to play some music for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, everybody else. That's kind of when I just started to, you know, channel all that energy that I was putting into the Little Homies into myself, and just to see if I can do this, you know, on my own. And that's how we get to where we are right now.
That's amazing. Honestly, dude, I will say this. I think, which I'm sure you know, but don't take for granted that you had a group of people who were on the same page as you, bro, because I myself and a lot of the ventures and I've done, like, you know, I've tried a lot of different shit. You feel me? Like, my YouTube channel is like, I have so much shit on there. Last year, I put out like 100 plus videos, and basically what I'm saying is, like, I don't have like a whole lot of people who are like, you know, on the same shit as me. You know, there was people in some eras and arcs of my life where it was like, okay, we're rocking with each other, we're working, but I took it, you know, more serious. Do you feel me?
Yeah, and that's just the risk of like collaboration and just working. And that's why I
love those guys. I still do, but like, I'm just, you know,
that's where I'm at right now, is like the friends that I have and the team that I have now. I don't really see myself like working or being in, like, because now it's like, it's not even a group that I'm a part of. It's just we're just friends. Like my friends, we help each other with anything that we're doing. If you see me, you see them. My boys, like you know what I'm saying? It's not really even a team or like a group. It's just like we just do what we like to do, and we just like finesse it the way that we do.
Yeah.
But that's always the struggle with like collaboration and stuff. It's like you never know, like nobody else can ever truly be on the same wave that you're on, because like nobody else is you. So
dude, yes, and that's kind of what I had to come to realization, man, because like when it's all right, let's just specifically look at the podcast itself. You know, I could have a sound guy, and I could have a lights and a camera guy, and like a co-host maybe, but honestly, like if you want to do something, man, you'll figure out what's the best camera, you know, or what's like, you know, obviously we don't have unlimited budgets and shit, but like, you know, you got to invest in yourself. You can't, you know, in some capacity responsibly. You know, I could have went and bought a couple of $1,000 cameras, but like, you know, you can get the job done with like, you know, certain things. Go buy used equipment and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
whatever it takes, you do whatever.
Exactly.
It takes.
That's what I'm saying. And yeah, dude. So let's talk about, before we talk about the album, I want to talk about, okay, so obviously like fashion and stuff is like almost like the whole other half of you and your like aesthetic and personality and just you as a creative person. Tell me about that, you know, modeling and stuff.
It's I mean, I don't really know a lot what to say about that. It's beautiful, man. It's tight. I hate even just categorizing shit as like fashion or like whatever, because like it's like I feel like fashion is honestly just like whatever you do as a person, whoever you are, is like, that's what fashion is. It's such a broad spectrum, like that a lot of times you can get lost in like people end up thinking that like fashion is according to somebody else's standard,
and
like,
being like really pretentious.
Yeah, but it's like it's really whatever you want to do. If you want to start wearing checkered pants and, you know what I'm saying, striped shirts, like at the same time, then that's you, like that's your fashion. And if I've seen things, like I've seen my friends, for example, I have this one friend that it doesn't matter what he puts on, like it works, like
it fits,
you know what I'm saying. One of my friends found some like old Echo Unlimiteds, and like, I'm like, for me,
shoes?
But for me it's like I would never wear those, but like you made them look cool, like how did you do that? And like that's like it happens all the time, like, you know. So it's like with the fashion thing, it's like a lot of times, man, I just wear whatever I like to see, the things that I like to see paired up. I like to test limits a lot, so I'll like put things together. For me, it's all about pushing, and this goes with music, fashion, visual, whatever. Like my whole thing is like pushing the limit as far as you can before it gets to where it's like, okay, that's too much.
Yeah.
But that's what it is for me. So I'll wear I don't even know. I'll wear like a whole snowsuit, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
With just some regular like Air Jordan 1s or whatever. Like whatever. Like I'll just push the limit as far as I can before it's like, wow, like okay, like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's not even about like does it work, cuz that whole thing is like subjective to like you, if it works or not. Like it works according to who. I feel like once people just stop dressing for other people, or like dressing to impress, then like, or like dressing for compliments and stuff like that, then like fashion the whole idea of like it being fashion, or I don't know, it's so weird. It's such a spectrum, but it modeling on the other hand is beautiful. I love doing it. It's
my
so
friend
fun.
Also, who my friend I was telling you moved to California, he does you know, I challenge him to be more serious about it, but like he's done photo shoots and stuff, and like that's his thing. Like he loves to do it, but like I always try and push him to, you know, he's like one of my good homies, but like he doesn't do it enough, and like like I wish he would, you know.
Yeah.
Personally,
sometimes, bro, you can what you want for people, like you can't want something for somebody more than they want it for themselves.
Yes, man.
I found myself doing that way too many times, and it's just like, yeah, I'm tiring myself out because of how great I want you to be, you know?
I feel the exact, dude, it's so weird, man, and I haven't, what you just said and like how kind of you're describing your mentality, bro, I relate to that so well, so much, honestly. And yeah, it's like I believe in, and like I straddle, because like I straddle this line between like I believe in myself maybe too much sometimes, you know what I'm saying, where it might come off as like arrogant, you feel me, but like if I'm not gonna like love my content or what I do, then like then who the fuck will? You feel me? I'm not saying that like I am the greatest creator of all time, but like, you know, like I think it can, you know, and it can be like that with anything you do. Like, I mean, honestly, like
I think I've reached a point where I just shut the hell up. I don't even talk no more.
Honestly,
I feel like a lot of times, especially nowadays, where we're now in a time where you can't show, like I can't go to your show and see you. Like now it's more talk than ever before. And it's just like,
internet,
bro, if you're about that, like if you do whatever you do, just shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so for me, like I find myself in all aspects. Of course, everybody does this. And I'll find myself not as much, but every now and then I'll compare myself. I'll be like, wow, this person's doing so much, or this person's doing this. I need to be on this, or I need to be doing this as much as they are. But however much they're doing something is according to what they've not done or whatever. Like that's them. So if I end up working as hard as somebody else is working, we could have two different goals, and I'm working backwards. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to achieve where they are, but how much they're doing and how much they're working is according to their goals and how much they haven't worked or how much they're trying to work to make up whatever. It's so many different variables. So once you start to compare yourself and start to change things in your habits according to other people, you'll start working backwards, because then the goal's not even yours. The goal is to be working as hard as somebody else. When they're not even thinking about you. So that's why I just started to grow. I like, in my mind, I don't even feel like I can't even compare to anybody else, because I'm not even racing for the same things.
We all have different paths.
You know what I'm saying? We all have different goals. I don't even want the same things that most people want.
I feel the same,
so it's like, man, we're not even on. I'm like running hurdles. You're doing like the dash. Like
you're not throwing the damn discus.
Yeah,
like
we're not. There's no way that either of us can win. We can't even compete. We're two different athletes. We're two different. And I just stay in my lane. I just do what I know I'm good at doing. I do what works, and I just continue to do that and stay focused. I've become, just because in the past, like I cared too much about what people thought. Like I cared too much. I seeked for other people's approval way too much.
Acceptance.
And it's almost cringe now when I think about some of the things that I like. It's so.
I remember specifically when I first started doing music. That was the first like time on the internet where I like, you know, started to put myself out there or like make something. And I remember when I first started, I was kind of lit around like, you know, people who knew me and shit. And then I was like, okay, because like, bro, I'm so passionate. Like I'll just keep grinding. And I remember I kept putting songs out, and I did not get like the reaction that I got at first. And I remember tweeting and posting and like talking, just being like, dude, what the fuck's going on? Like, why are you guys, you know, why is, I hate that I'm putting this shit out and no one's supporting it, And then, but now, you know, I would never put out a podcast. Like if you go on my YouTube, some of them have like 15, 20 views on YouTube. I know that shit is different, and I know that shit, you know, I feel like it was a success in my eyes. You feel me? Like I could go take a fucking screenshot and put it on my story and be like, what the fuck? Why did I only get 12 views on this? But like, to me, I feel like it was a W. You feel me? Like I was like, dude, like that's a whole video. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I am. I mean, as far, you know, my mentality, I guess, when it comes to that shit, you can't let that shit get you down, because like that, you know.
Because somebody's comparing themselves to you too, and you don't even know it, dude. Like you don't even know it.
That's a true one.
That's just the way life goes, man. You'll always be comparing yourself to somebody, and somebody's comparing themselves to you, and it's like a bunch of chickens just running around like with their head cut off.
And no one has to be here, bro. We don't know what the fuck. We don't know what the fuck we're doing here. No one does, truly. All right, man. Let's talk about Boys wear pearls.
Yeah, man.
Before we do that, you really fuck with Solange, huh?
Bro, I love Solange.
I saw her at Bonnaroo.
Really?
2019. It was amazing, bro.
Is that after? Yeah, that's after the album dropped, right?
Yes.
Yeah, or right around that time.
We saw Cranes in the Sky. Was that on that album?
No. That was the one before Seat at the Table. Yeah.
Dude, when I heard specifically Cranes in the Sky, that's what it's called, Cranes in the Sky.
Yeah, Cranes in the Sky.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this.
Yeah, I always get the Doves in the Wind and Cranes in the Sky mixed up, but yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to ask you that because you're always posting Solange on your story. I was like, man, I'm gonna ask him that.
She was a big. It's so funny because like there was a lot of inspirations for this album, but none of the songs sound like
yeah.
Like so, there's no songs on the album that sound like this is a Solange style
tribute.
Because I'm not, Yeah. But and a lot of times like that's what trips me out about artists. They'll be like, oh yeah, this is a blank, like this is inspired by X, Y, and Z, but it literally just sounds like. You just did a cover.
A remake.
Which is cool if that's what you're on. That's cool.
Yeah,
whatever. But
hip hop is birthed and sampling and stuff, you know. A nod, but all right, man. Let's talk about
Solange is a huge inspiration. I went back and listened to her album in full and was just like, how do I create something that's a moment
that
like
feels
this,
like
you
that.
know? Because when you listen to that album and you close your eyes and you just listen to it, you feel a certain type of way. You feel like you have on a suit. You feel like you have like wine beside you. You feel, you just feel very like exquisite. You feel very sophisticated while listening to it. But it also gives like a tip of like being like free, being like, being yourself, being black, being beautiful. Like it's that album encompasses all of those things.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, how do I make an album that does the same thing, but it's the meaning to me, you know, but it means something to me and it's like myself. So yeah, that's why the Solange is always posted, because it's like, this is that little sound bite at the end of Dreams that I've been using like to promote everything. It's just like, for her to even have that on there, it's like, it caught me. So like, if I put this, I know it'll catch somebody else. So that's kind of, it was just very simple. It was kind of, I didn't even think about it. I just started doing it and was like, okay, I'm going to keep on doing this shit.
Was the title Boys Wear Pearls inspired by Frank Ocean's Boys Don't Cry?
No, actually it wasn't.
What was that, like a magazine or something?
Yeah, I think the Boys Don't. It was like
it was something that
it came out with Endless. Visual album, I believe.
Which was
Boys Wear Pearls. Actually, it's funny. The album. Oh my god, I didn't even want to do an album when at like a year ago from today. I didn't even want to do an album because for me it was like, why would I work on this body of work consistently, put my all into it, just like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to do that, I need millions to hear this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not about to work this hard for nobody to hear it. Then I had a change of perspective in talking to like my friends, my big homies, and my so I have a really good group around me who keep my head
support
up high.
system.
I love all the people that are a part of my team, or that, I consider family. They know who they are. Like, they do so much for me that they'll never know. But basically, all my roommates are like my little bros, like my little brothers. They're younger than me, not by a lot, but they're younger than me.
Yeah.
But then like the people who I work on music with are all older than me. Yeah. So I get both sides.
Yeah, you're kind of in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, and I love it. I love being able to like bring something to the big homies for their opinion, and then bringing it to my roommates and my friends and stuff for their opinion. I get both sides. So going into the album, they were both like, yeah, it's not about like people listening to it. Like, you need to do this. Now is the best time for you to make this album, and now is the best time for you to really dial in, because you have room for error, and it's about failing fast. The quicker that you fail, and even failing is like subjective.
It is
to like
subjective,
whatever, but like, the quicker that you fail, the quicker you can learn and you can regroup.
And recover and grow.
Exactly. So like when they make iPhones and stuff, like, I feel like I'm rubbing my eyes so much. But when they make iPhones and everything, like the reason that they get them out so quick, and the reason it's one after the other, is because when one fails, they're already on the next one. They're already figuring out what went wrong with the last one. So that's why they're not afraid to fail. It's actually better to fail early on, so you can get that information on how you failed, and you can tweak it, you can fix it, so the next time it's 100% better. So going into that, I was like, okay, I'm ready for this album. I'm ready to take on this journey. So it really started from like, I want to say like the end of July.
Like Boys Wear Pearls sessions.
Not even a Boys, because the whole.
Okay.
Not even a, like Boys Wear Pearls.
It didn't have a name yet.
Yeah.
Like the session, like, you know, you were in this space, but you didn't know what to call it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And I was like, around that time, the album was named something totally different. I had this whole other idea that I wanted to do. It was something completely different. It wasn't even anything that it is today. So this whole idea kind of, like, Boys Wear Pearls kind of unraveled itself, which is exactly what I wanted it to do, because the idea that I had before was just way too forced. It was way too, it didn't seem genuine. It didn't seem real. It felt like I would be making this music to fit an album title, where it's
just
like,
to have an album.
You know what I'm
just
saying?
Just to have it.
So at that point, it was like, I felt like I was working backwards, or I was like hustling backwards. So I was like, okay, instead, I'm going to just make the music. I'm going to make the songs. I'm going to make everything. And I'm going to just let the album title reveal itself.
Yeah.
And that's where Boys Wear Pearls came from. I was watching this. I was watching the AUG DVD. Something that
I haven't actually. Where do you even find those?
It's on YouTube.
Oh,
you
for
can
real?
find it on YouTube. Yeah,
I've seen, like, you know,
page.
IG clips of like Ski Mask doing like a freestyle, like that type of shit.
Yeah.
I never actually watched that in full.
Yeah, I watched the whole. Like, a lot of times I wake up in the morning and just put something from YouTube on TV just to be watching it, just so it's on, you know.
Yeah.
So I've watched like Tyler the Creator's like Flower Boy documentary like 1,000 times.
Actually,
you know?
it's funny you say that. So I drive for Amazon. I've been recently getting back into making music too, and I've been trying to like make like a cohesive project. And I just been listening to albums top to bottom, and I listened to Flower Boy. I was like, bro, this is like the skits and shit. Tyler's always been like that with like Wolf, man, and I mean Bastard Wolf, and then well, Cherry Bomb is like some experimental shit, but like they tell a story, you know, like they but no,
Tyler is a major
Igor too, man.
Tyler's a major inspiration. He's like he can do no wrong. It's actually very scary how crazy like talented he is, but
as a producer as well,
you know. But he's like our modern day Pharrell, literally. Like,
and that's his inspiration,
you
too.
know, and it's wild. Like that's a very big statement, but it's true. Like it's 100% true. Like he's our modern, like he's our generation's Pharrell, and just his take on the way he does whatever. We could talk about Tyler. All
yeah.
But anyway,
Boys Wear Pearls, bro. What do you want to say before it actually comes out to the world? You know, because I want you to say what you want to say, but I don't want you to like spoil, you know, whatever, you know, you have involved. I mean, the only reason I brought it up is because you posted about it. You feel me? Like if we had a private conversation, you were like, hey man, I'm working on Boys. I wouldn't be like, so, you know what I'm saying? Tell me what you want a viewer who has never heard of Savvy, who might come from my clientele network followers.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, who is this guy with the blonde dreads?
Yeah.
You know, oh, okay, he has an album called Boys Wear Pearls. What would you want them to hear or know?
Whew, that's a good question. That's a good question. I would say to that person, it's your first time seeing me, it's your first time listening to me, it's your first time discovering me. I would say number one, hey, what's good? How are you? Savvy, nice to meet you. This album is a sonically the best sonically representation of myself. So all the songs you hear, from the production to the writing to the way the album flows to the way it makes you feel, if you were to meet me, that's what it would feel like, the same thing. And that's what Boys Wear Pearls is. It's the It's where elegance and adolescence meets. It's where the sophistication, but also like the satire meets. Like, it's where like the serious becomes not serious at all. And it's where you can come, Boys Wear Pearls is just, to me, it's like, usually you see very rich white women, elderly white women wearing pearls.
With pearls. It represents something in itself.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But to see a young black kid with blonde hair wear pearls, it's like, it raises a question. It's like out of the ordinary. And that's what I would say. That's what I would say. I would just be like, hey, this is the first album. This is the first look into who I am as a person, who I am as an artist. And can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to for you to discover more. And there's more on the way, always, 100%. So yeah,
I think it's really dope that you took. I mean, first of all, your progress as an artist and your catalog that's even out, you can tell a big difference from 6 a.m. to Zoom.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say this too. Zoom, to me, first of all, it's like actually in like my Apple Music library.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, like for real.
Thank you.
Zoom, to me, sounds like a fucking all that. It gives me like all that Nickelodeon vibes. You feel me? Like, just it captures like the throwback 90s ish. We're like in our early 20s, but like, we were kind of in that a little bit. It's like, that's just how it made me feel. Was it sounded like all that inspired. You remember like that theme song, like that throwbacky. 100%,
TLC recorded that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Zoom is an amazing song, guys, by the way.
Thank you so much, man. That the story behind that, it's so funny.
It's a whole vibe. I played it for my girl all the time. Like, it's like actually in my rotation. Like, it's in my library.
It's wild because I'm pretty sure I was running off like 3% battery, like unlike my body, like 3%. We recorded that at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and I was dead tired. I had work the next morning. Like, oh man, it was not
one of those days.
It was one of those nights, and it turned out really good. And I was like, yeah, I really like this song, and I ended up putting it out. People like it too, so it's really cool. I got to perform it at a couple shows towards the end of the year, so that was really cool to do that.
I think it's dope too that one, you've grown in just a very, very short period, and two, you're putting together visual, like music videos and visuals too with the songs, bro. That I'm telling you, man, like Lyrical Lemonade, like Cole Bennett. Cole Bennett can take a song and put a video to it, and they literally become a household name.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's something about combining like
visuals with audio,
dude. Oh my gosh, it gives you like the whole image. Like, you get to see what that person looks like who's making the song. But yeah, dude, I mean, is there anything you want to ask me or anything you would like to say before we get off here, man? I really appreciate us getting to meet and 100%, finally get this shit in, man.
I'm sorry my allergies were acting so bad today. Like, I don't know what
I'm
it is.
sorry
bro.
you feel like that, man.
It's literally I think it's the weather changed so much, because one day it'll be like 70 degrees, and then like
Tennessee
the next day
weird.
it'll be like 40.
Yeah, like,
and my eyes
rain,
just,
and then it might rain.
Yeah, so it's so weird. But nah, man, thanks for having me on. Thanks for bringing me on. Boys Wear Pearls 214.
Valentine's Day
merch coming soon.
Merch, cool.
Videos coming soon. Website coming soon. Whole lot of everything. I hope everybody enjoys the album. We put a lot of time into it. We put a lot of effort into it, and we put a lot of me into it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys play it for everyone. Play it for your grandmother, your grandpa, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother. Like,
all ages.
Play it for everybody. I want it everywhere. And yeah. I think that's everything for me.
Dope, bro. I want to give you a couple stickers
for sure
before I forget.
Gotta get used to the homies.
Nothing crazy, but yeah, bro. I just want to give you some. Make sure they get in some good places.
For sure. It's a perfect amount. I'm gonna give them to all my roommates.
Dope. Yes, episode 88. 8 is my favorite number too. Yeah. So this has got to be a special
8
one.
8 used to be my favorite number for Kobe. R.I.P. to
Man, R.I.P. Kobe. That's my brother's name as well.
Wow.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Episode 88. Savvy. Boys Wear Pearls.
We're here.
Valentine's Day.
Shout out Slightlee. Shout out Hank LD. Shout out everybody who had something to do with the album. Shout out the database. Shout out Arlette. Shout out everybody. Yeah.
Gang.
Shout out mom and dad and Brandon.
Shout out to the people who created us.
Yeah. Yeah. And Brandon. Shout out Brandon.
All right, man.
88. We're out.